If I tell you a fact that a powerful kingdom lost the battle against a very weak enemy, you will laugh at me. And obviously, this is not something that people can trust on, but this is actually true. Around 2500 years ago, a battle happened between Persian army and Egyptian army. Egyptian army was very powerful that time, very rich in culture, very powerful. Compared to that, Persian army was not very powerful, but they won the battle. And the reason was they knew the culture of Egypt. Now, how is that possible? Actually, in Egyptian culture that time, there was a goddess named Bastet. She was the goddess of home, and people used to love that goddess. They used to worship that. The goddess had a human-like body and a cat-like face. So cat was also worshipped in that culture. And in fact, the killing of a cat had a death penalty as a sentence. So that was the value of cat in Egyptian culture that time. Persian king, whose name was Cambyses, he knew this culture of Egypt. And what he did, he put hundreds of cats in front of his army when the battle started. In fact, he also made sure that the shields of the soldiers also had cats portrayed, cats images on their shields. And that made the Egyptian army really worried because they were not able to attack on cats, and if there was a cat like image, they got confused as what to do. And that was one of the reason of demise of Egyptian army led by Pharaoh Semitic III. So the point here is that if you have a culture and if you have a tradition, you should also know that when to follow that and when not to follow. That's number one learning. The second learning is if you are fighting a battle, be it in the battlefield or be it in a business, you also need to know the culture of your enemy or culture of your customers, if I say in the context of business. And why it is important in business? If you read the case study of eBay in China, why eBay failed in China, you would understand that the primary reason of eBay's failure in China was that they were not able to understand the culture of China. They tried to implement something which was applicable in the Western world but not applicable in China. We'll talk about more on this case study later. But the interesting part is a battle can be won just by using cats if you know the right culture and right strategy. Thank you.